Okay, so we're in Tarrant County, Texas, and we're going to see if we can find some accountability. I don't know, maybe some video, body cam video. We'll see how this plays out. Also, I'd like to note that 93% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You have your phone in your hand, you're at your laptop. All you gotta do is click the button. I'll stop the harassment. Now, let's move along with this one. Family demands answers after mental health warrant ends in fatal shooting. According to the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office, police were trying to serve the 19-year-old a warrant when they tried attacking 19-year-old a warrant when they tried attacking one of the deputies. I'm going to go to reader mode because the ads are getting on my nerves. According to the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office, police were trying to serve the 19-year-old a warrant when they tried attacking one of the deputies. I'm not sure who they is. I've read the articles. I don't know who they are. Holtom City, Texas. A young man was killed Friday in Holtom City after police say he tried to attack a Tarrant County deputy. Now his family is demanding answers. The incident occurred in the 5600 block of Twin Oaks Drive in Holtom City as deputies served a mental health warrant for 19-year-old Christopher Guerrero, identified by his family. It was a mental health warrant, said Jorge Guerrero, Christopher's brother. Jorge Guerrero said he requested the warrant from a judge after his brother experienced a mental health crisis for more than a week. He requested the warrant after Holcomb City Police visited the house during a welfare check, according to the family. Jorge told the news that Holcomb City officers talked peacefully with his brother during their visit, but didn't deem Christopher a threat to himself or anyone else at the time and suggested that he seek a mental health warrant. Jorge said his brother's behavior continued. So, I don't understand why they couldn't. I mean, we know law enforcement don't really want to go out there and, do much of a job. They'd like to sit around and draw a paycheck. But it seems like they could have done a mental health hold and had him evaluated. Apparently, these that came out are different than the next ones that are going to come out. Anyway, he locked himself in his room. He was saying that his food was poisoned. He doesn't trust anybody. He was really paranoid, Jorge said. The family is now seeking answers about how Christopher ended up dead. Jorge said a deputy had explained the warrant process over the phone before arriving. Well, he ended up dead because you caught a bunch of thugs with a gun. He said that if he gets aggressive, they would put him in handcuffs and take him. He told me that was going to be the last straw, Jorge recalled. Jorge said he opened the door for the warrant officers when they arrived at the house on Friday. That's when Christopher retreated to the back of the house, according to the family. Jorge said deputies forced him and his mother out of the house. While outside with his mother during the warrant execution, Jorge said they heard gunfire. They didn't want you in there. They were going in there. Apparently guns ablaze. Let's see how it plays out. Tarrant County Sheriff's Office Deputy Chief Jennifer Gabbert provided a statement on what happened when deputies arrived at the Guerrero home. Well, she's only saying what they told her. Deputies attempted to serve a warrant. The suspect was armed with a knife. Allegedly, an altercation occurred. Allegedly, the deputy was injured and the suspect is deceased, Gabbert said. Well, that's pretty cut and dry. That cannot be all of it. In an update sent out by TCSO on Saturday morning, the sheriff's office said Christopher had been arrested 1 week earlier on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. That has nothing to do with this. They thought since he's dead, we'll just throw all his information out there to say, see, he wasn't a good guy. This has nothing to do with why the deputies were there to begin with. TCSO said Christopher bonded out of Tarrant County Jail and returned to his residence on Twin Oaks Drive. TCSO said that while serving a mental health warrant, Christopher assaulted a TCSO deputy with a knife, stabbing the deputy in the hand and causing a severe laceration on his hand. Deputies discharged their firearms to stop Christopher, TCSO said. Deputies discharged their firearms. So what happened was they went in there with their guns out and ready just in case some shit went down, and then one saw something or thought they saw something, started shooting or shot, and the other ones is called sympathetic fire, heard or saw, so they're like, well, this one's shooting, I'll shoot. Not how this is supposed to play out. The deputy was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injury, according to the sheriff's office. Jorge Guerrero said he only wanted his brother to receive help. Not only were they deputies, but they were specialists in mental health. Mental health specialist deputies. They just shoot everybody and ask questions later. They are the ones that serve the warrant, Jorge Guerrero said. Now, the family is left grieving and searching for justice. The investigation into the deadly shooting involving the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office will be turned over to the Texas Rangers, according to Chief Deputy Gabbert. The deputies involved have been placed on administrative leave, according to TCSO. Alrighty. Well. There's this. Now you know it's all geared up. There'll probably be an ad. Of course, this will be a short one though.
This is Tarrant County Sheriff's investigators and crime scene workers on their way back into a house after a deadly shooting. It happened in Haltom City on Twin Oaks Drive as deputies served a warrant for 19-year-old Christopher Guerrero, identified by his family.
It was a mental health warrant.
Jorge Guerrero says he asked the judge for a warrant because for a week and a half, his brother Christopher was in a mental health crisis.
He locked himself in his room. He wasn't eating. He was saying that his food was poisoned. He doesn't trust anybody. He was very paranoid.
Now, Jorge and his family want answers about how his brother ended up dead. Especially since Friday morning, he says a deputy explained the warrant process over the phone before they arrived.
They said that if he did get aggressive, they were going to put him in cuffs and take him. But he told me that was going to be the last straw.
Jorge says while outside with his mother during the warrant, they heard gunfire.
My name is Jennifer Gabbert, Chief Deputy with the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office.
Here's what the Sheriff's Office says happened after they arrived at Guerrero's home.
Warrant deputies attempted to serve a warrant at a location. Suspect was armed with a knife.
Allegedly.
An altercation occurred.
Allegedly.
The deputy was injured and the suspect is deceased.
The deputy went to the hospital.
And they keep saying injured. And then one said that he was cut, but he probably got a hangnail. And then was like, oh damn, I need to seek some medical treatment.
For a non-life-threatening injury. Jorge says all he wanted was for deputies to take his brother to the hospital for help with his mental health.
And not only were they just deputies, they were specialists on mental health. They're the ones that served the warrant.
And just never expected him to end up dead. In Tarrant County, I'm Scoop Jefferson.
Thank you there. So, I was thinking to myself, this was January 31st, 2025, body cam footage. There has to be... Don't believe anything they say until you see body cam footage. There has to be body cam footage. I looked and looked and looked, and I found this. February 21st, 2025, almost January 31st, a month later. Tarrant County says there's no video of fatal shooting. Sheriff's deputies don't wear body cameras. Why would they not wear body cameras? But of course they don't. So now you just have to take their word for it. Tarrant County Sheriff's deputies don't wear body cameras, meaning there is no footage of the fatal shooting of Christopher Loyo, the county says. Loyo, 19, was killed in Haltom City on January 31st while deputies were serving a mental health warrant. Mental health deputies, supposed to be specialized in this shit apparently, were serving a mental health warrant. The warrant allows the authorities to take someone into custody if they are a danger to themselves or others, according to the sheriff's office. Christopher injured one officer with a blade, and deputies opened fire, but of course they did. They're good at that. On Wednesday, Christopher's brother, Jorge Loyo, I thought it said Guerrero before, anyway, spoke before Tarrant County commissioners and asked to see body cam footage of the shooting. He said he requested a mental health warrant to get his brother some help. This could all have been avoided by just a conversation, he said. He wasn't a threat to anybody. The news submitted a public records request for the body camera footage or any other recording related to the incident. The sheriff's records office responded Thursday that deputies do not wear body cameras and closed the request. Of course they did. Sheriff's Office spokesperson Lori Passman confirmed that sheriff's deputies are not equipped with body cameras. Efforts to change that are underway, she said in an email. Yes, for several years. It's a very expensive multi-million-dollar project, she said. We would welcome a check to pay for that equipment, and we'll be pursuing that during the next budget session. This would align us with many larger law enforcement agencies across the country and enhance transparency and accountability. It will not enhance transparency and accountability because, first of all, they'll put that shit behind a paywall. You'll have to do a public records request. You'll have to pay for all that shit. And then if you do get anything, it'll be so redacted and so edited, you won't be able to tell what's going on anyway. That is not for accountability and transparency. That's to make the taxpayers feel better and think there's going to be transparency and accountability. We've seen time and time again there will be almost 0% of chance of that. The Tarrant County Commissioners Court controls the sheriff's budget, which they usually finalize in August and September. Last September, commissioners gave the sheriff's office the okay to research its body camera options. The office intends to equip all of its officers with cameras, including those who work inside the Tarrant County Jail, according to Passman. The sheriff's office is in charge of the jail. The body camera request was included in a reform package following the death of Anthony Johnson Jr. in jail custody. Johnson died in April 2024 after jailers pepper sprayed him and one knelt on his back. The Tarrant County Medical Examiner's Office ruled his death a homicide by asphyxiation, and 2 jailers have been indicted for murder. I'll have to go look that up, but we're going at least back to 2024. That's unusual for a large law enforcement agency like the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office to not have cameras by now, University of South Carolina Criminology Department Professor Ian Adams said. You would expect that more than 90%, even as of a couple years ago, would have body cameras, he said. You would expect 100% would. Also, taxpayers, your taxes are going to go up. They're going to buy some body cameras now, but you're not going to get to see the shit on them. Adams studied the use of body cameras. Widespread adoption started around 2015, he said. See? 2015. We're in 2025. Outside pressure came from politicians and activists who wanted video as a police transparency tool. Good luck. During the Obama presidency, the federal government also offered money to help agencies adopt the technology. Over time, general police attitudes toward body cameras have shifted from negative to positive, Adams said, because the footage can validate police actions as well as expose wrongdoing. You will not know that positive because they're knowing that it's coming their way, but they know there's going to be no accountability because almost never are you going to get the body cam footage. I think advocates and reformers and agencies themselves get frustrated when what's perceived as like the slow pace of reform or change in policing, Adams said. But with a little bit of time, we can look back just 5 or 10 years and see that there's been pretty massive changes around this issue in particular. One reason a law enforcement agency might hesitate to adopt cameras is because of the significant costs, Adams said. Governments have to pay for the cameras themselves and the technology to store the video. In 2022, the Fort Worth City Council agreed to spend $74.2 million over 12 years for police body cameras, license plate readers, tasers, and other tech in a contract with Axon, a major body camera supplier. Yes, they would like some more tasers so they can tase you. They would like some more license plate readers so they can, it will just shell out tickets. They don't even have to do anything because they don't want to do anything anyway. These license plate readers will just read license plates and send out tickets, and either you pay it or that tag will be dead. I'm just saying. And tasers. Body cameras, at this point, they don't care if they have body cameras or not because they know there's going to be no accountability. It's going to be put behind a paywall. You're going to have to do a public records request. That shit should be streamed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's how that should work. You're already paying for it, and now you got to pay to see the results of it, if and when they decide to release it to you. So that's where we're at with this one. You're never going to know what happened. That's just how this is going to play out. I don't see this going anywhere but here. Now, that being said, I'm not an attorney. I'm not with the Department of Justice. I'm not any of that. I'm just saying there is no body cam footage, and they're putting out what they say happened. And we've seen this play out time and time again. But that's where we're at with this one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 93% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. All you have to do is click the button. Let me know what you think about this one. And I'm out.